This was the perfect opportunity for redemption. This was his chance to answer all his critics and to put his name right in the middle of the GOAT conversation. But he did something that we have never seen by an NBA superstar throughout his entire history. He sabotaged his own career. Before we get to that moment, let's first consider the unique situation that Rick Barry was in. We want to start with the reputation that he had with the league. The fans hated him, the media despised him, and the players had a love-hate relationship with him. They respected his tremendous basketball gifts, but they couldn't say the same about him as a person. Let's be real here. The way a player is viewed around the league has a big impact on the way they get remembered years later. Sometimes the NBA is a popularity contest, and Rick Barry was never getting any love. For some basketball historians, that played a big part in this legend never winning the MVP award. During this time, it was the players that voted for the MVP, not the media. And even when he was averaging over 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and nearly 3 steals per game in the 1974-75 season, he finished 4th in the MVP polls. I'm pretty sure his reputation has something to do with him being snubbed from the top 3. There's one more important thing that we need to account for to get the full picture of what we're about to discuss. Rick Barry missed a large chunk of his prime due to the jump he made to the ABA. This happened after his sophomore season. Keep in mind that he just finished leading his team to the finals and winning the scoring title. He averaged 35.6 points in the regular season, and he averaged 40.8 points in the finals against Wilt Chamberlain and the Philadelphia 76ers. He was supposed to be the next great perimeter player that would rival Jerry West for the years to come. But he decided to take his talents to the ABA. This was due to a dispute with the Warriors owner over unpaid incentive monies that he felt he was owed. This video is not about this important event, so I'm not going to go into full detail about this. But here's how this affected his NBA career. He missed 5 years of his prime, and he had to deal with criticism from the public that he was selfish and money hungry. This move made his NBA career resume seem less impressive, and there are those who still view him negatively for this move that he made. But he gained their respect back after the 1974-75 season. He had one of the most historic playoff runs by leading the Golden State Warriors to the championship. What makes his playoff run so impressive is that no one was expecting them to win the title. Although they were the best team in the Western Conference, they only won 48 games. The team that they played in the finals, the Washington Bullets, won 60 games. They were huge underdogs heading into the series, and they ended up sweeping this team. They beat this juggernaut with no one from the Warriors averaging over 12 points for the series other than Rick Barry. That performance validated his career, and there's nothing that we can do or say to take that away from him. But now he had the golden opportunity to put himself in the pantheon of NBA greats. That brings us to the season in question, the 1975-76 season. The Warriors went into the playoffs as the best team in the league. They won 59 games in the regular season, and there was no other team in the West that won over 44 games. They couldn't have asked for a better road to the finals. There was nobody that was at their level. In the conference finals, they faced the Phoenix Suns, who had a 42-40 record. This was supposed to be an easy series victory, and that's what it seemed like at first. They won Game 1 by 25 points. They lost Game 2, but they bounced back in Game 3 by winning 99-91. They seemed to be right on schedule. But check out what happened in Game 4. They had 3 different chances to close out the Suns and take a 3-1 series lead going back to Oakland. The Warriors had a 2-point lead and the ball with 8 seconds left in regulation, only to allow the Suns to force overtime. Missed free throws by Derek Dickey proved to be costly. Then the Warriors had another 2-point lead and the ball with 10 seconds left in the first overtime, only to allow the Suns to force a second overtime. And in the second overtime period, the Suns scored 14 unanswered points to tie the series. This was starting to become interesting. There were doubts that the Warriors could close out the Suns. Unsurprisingly, they destroyed Phoenix in the following game by a margin of 16 points. All they had to do was win one game, and they're back in the finals. This is where everything started. They have a 1-point lead with 14 seconds remaining in the game, and they gave up a layup to Alvin Adams. The good news is that there was still plenty of time for the Warriors to win. The play was drawn for their best player, Rick Barry. He came off a screen, and he was wide open. However, they passed the ball to Jamal Wilkes, and the Suns blocked the shot. They forced the Game 7, and Rick was fuming. How do we know this? 42 years later, he said this.
The ball should have gone to me. I was wide open.
Knowing him, he probably let his teammates know that he should have gotten the ball. Who knows what happened in that locker room? But everything came crumbling down in the biggest game of the series. The way Rick Barry conducted himself in Game 7, with their season and championship hopes on the line, is something that is indefensible. It all started in the first half when he got into a brawl with Ricky Sobers. He was in the middle of a scuffle with none of his teammates by his side. Was this because they were also sick of dealing with his tough personality? Was this a message that they were trying to send to their star teammate? We don't know. What we do know is that Rick Barry hit his breaking point. He responded by going the next 30 minutes without scoring a basket. The media said that he was pouting throughout the game. Rick denies this, of course. But check out what Curry Kirkpatrick reported for Sports Illustrated about that game. He spoke to 3 different players, and this is what they noticed. Gar Hurd said that Barry didn't want to shoot it. Curtis Perry said he never moved for the ball like he does. Dick Van Arsdale said Rick seemed disenchanted. I think he was upset they couldn't blow us out. Your actions and body language always speak louder than your words. And his opponent noticed a difference in him after the fight. He was nowhere near as aggressive as he always was. He finished the game with 20 points on 42% shooting, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. The Warriors were the better team. There was nobody from the Suns that was even close to being at Barry's level. They were supposed to win that series and face the Boston Celtics in the finals. This was his chance of winning back-to-back titles and finals MVPs. He would have been the first player to accomplish this, and the only player to win 2 consecutive titles in the 70s. But he blew that opportunity for reasons that had little to do with basketball. He chose the worst possible time to give up on his team, even if he thought his reasons were legitimate. He had a lot of enemies on the court, but for this game, he was his own worst enemy. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Where would have Rick Barry landed all time if he'd have won the title in '76? Do you think he deserves a pass for this? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.